As I think of how the whole thing with Precious Moments began, the first one that I did, now many times people say Sam did this one first and that one first, but the first one that I recall doing was actually a logo for Precious Moments, and it was a little girl praying in the field, and that definitely was Mom to me. You know, I think, John, lots of times Mom, different things that she would say or the way that she handles certain things when she's holding things or, in the garden where she likes to work. Those things often inspire me to do things. It's not even any particular act that she's done, but it's just a spiritual message that might come out of that. For example, like the little girl with the butterfly, or the girl with her hair blowing in the wind, the autumn song, and things like that.
No, the Four Seasons.
Yeah. Much of the Four Seasons thing that's inspirational will actually be something that Mom's inspired me to do, but not necessarily something that took place. And so I think it just sort of originated with the family. And then out of that, of course, we had the children, and the children have such an intricate part in the story, in the Precious Moments story. And in a way, the book covered many things, but, the book couldn't cover everything, because the Precious Moments figurines themselves, there's so many of those that weren't thoroughly explained that are very precious stories to me of my own family members. And then, of course, as the family grows, I see where the grandchildren have a major part to this. And I'm not just trying to pick the grandchildren out, trying to find a reason to do a Precious Moments, but there's something about each one of them that I find to be so special. Trish's really, how she's so bubbly. Actually, so she reminds me so much of a Norman Rockwell figure herself, actually. But she comes across to me as she's got a lot to offer, and so I've been inspired to do things really about all of the grandchildren. And now Cub and Tam's children, when I was there in California visiting, I was just so inspired by those little girls.
They are so adorable. Petey wants to be an artist just like his grandpa, and he spends all day long sometimes drawing and painting. He's already won an art award, and he's only in kindergarten out of his class, and his little drawing is going up to the state competition.
Not too many little guys, when you pick them up, would say, "Grandpa, please don't look any higher. I'm afraid of heights." He's very aware of things, and he's able to really express his feelings, but he's a very quiet boy.
Does he want to take a nap?
Tell us a little bit about the new baby, Jessie.
Is this an advertisement?
Yeah.
You're not selling it. Well, Jessie is just so beautiful. I mean, I'm just... no, I'm trying to read everything that you told me to say. But anyway, she really... John, she reminds me of you. When you were so young, and, I look into her eyes, I see so much of you. And I was quite surprised when I was looking at the photograph of Donnie not long ago that I thought that that actually Donnie was you, but I see that same kind of picture in her eyes, and now that she's beginning to blossom and show her personality, it's really becoming more of an inspiration, and I'm sure that Jesse's going to be involved in so many special little baby scenes. I saw this video of little Sammy and Jesse, and it was just so cute that I'd been thinking of something that I had to do for a baby's first anyway, and when I saw that, it was just so cute that I immediately got the idea. Now, not all of it took place. For example, the dog that was included in the final thing that I did wasn't even there, but the scene inspired that. So then I just went back to my desk and I started working, and then I came up with the results with a few alterations made by Sammy at the desk, of course.
This is a sweet little scene that I got a little while ago. Well, do you want to explain this, Dave?
Well, I can see it, and it's to me it's cute with Sammy, of all things, with an umbrella open in the studio, but that sort of just reminds me of when it rains it pours, because that day really, as you well see, I had been inspired to do this painting, working on the picture, all excited. I had all of my things, and then Sammy and the kids said, John, I've never just pushed them away and said, you can't do this or you can't do that. It's hard sometimes to fight for your own space, especially with the grandchildren. But at the same time, they know that they can use my brushes and they can have a good time. But look at this guy. I mean, I've sketched this picture, and that's my only picture. And of course, he doesn't know what it is, and he's painting the whole thing. And this is what I'm trying to explain to him. Sammy, you have painted over my sketch. Look at this. Sammy, excuse me. I've got to get back to work. And what? Sammy, look at the mess.
Sorry, Grandpa.
That's okay.
Yikes. How are you going to get this picture?
Well, I don't know. Let's see.
Butter it?
Yeah, but this is my...
Let's see.
This is Grandpa's sketch. What's this?
Papa, get out the butter paper.
Sammy, this is Grandpa's other sketch. Sammy, you painted on Grandpa's sketch. You know that? You painted over Grandpa's sketch. I was going to put on... Oh, you got paint here, too.
Grandpa.
What happened?
Sorry.
Sorry. That's okay. You know what's under there? Grandpa's sketch. Remember, I was going to do it on here. And you painted over the top of it. What happened? Well, that's right. I suppose that the end of your exasperation, if it's going to be positive, that you have to come up with something. And usually Philip, there's so many things that he's done. Actually, most people probably would be more familiar with the Little Ice Cream Boy, but that definitely is a total personality of Philip. But also the little boy selling Kool-Aid, and all of those situations, it has a little guy that you can just see, mischief in his eye. That's generally been the Philip type of personality that's in there. The only thing different about Tim is that Mom and I have always given him freedom to really work very hard at the thing that he loves the most, whereas the thing that I love the most, I worked at it when I could. But he has this opportunity, and I feel that because both Mom and I have really stood behind him and believe in him, we can see the tremendous genius in his ability. And now, of course, with you working with him and Patty and Missy, all of that put together, I feel that someday, you know, I'm going to be asking for Tim's autograph.
Why you looking like you're so depressed? Why you looking like you're so impressed? Tell me that you're brought down by what somebody said. Put those things behind and get it out of your head. Why you looking like you're such a wreck? Why you looking like you're so upset? Well, it's easy to get brought down when things don't seem fair, but you're the only one who's gonna take you anywhere. So, what do you know? What you gonna be? Where you gonna go? Oh, hey you. What you gonna do? What you gonna be? Well, what do you know? Why you looking like you're so depressed? Why you looking like you're so impressed? You say you got your problems, I know I got mine. We know what it takes to put it all in line. See what you wanna be, then go ahead. It'll set you free. Oh no, where you wanna go, then go ahead. Just let it show. Say you've got your problems, well, what you gonna do? Can't you see the violence you're putting yourself through? No, go where you gotta take a hold. You can jump ahead now, you see what you wanna be, then go ahead. It'll set you free. Oh no, where you wanna go, then go ahead. Just let it show. Oh, see what you wanna be, then go ahead. It'll set you free. Oh no, where you wanna go.
The total balance of my personality is in all of these figurines, and I've experienced every one of them that I've done, even though many of them might have been inspired from other people. I was able to see that thing in those other people, because I wouldn't say, oh, it's terrible that this individual lost their temper, or it's terrible that this individual might have said or done that. To me, I could see that's life, and that's how I presented it in the figurines. As I was walking by the seashore, I just sort of, I was just saying, Lord, why? You know, why do these things happen? I haven't, you know, I'm not attacking someone. Why is this? And I was asking all this, why? And you know, as I was trying to solve this problem within myself, all of a sudden I saw this little boy, and he was holding one piece of a broken heart in one arm, and the other piece in the other arm, and then I just, in my heart, I could just see these letters, this too shall pass. And I painted that because it was so much in my heart. And then you remember when we were driving and we were talking about the same situation, the result of that with the little boy with the broken heart, the possibility of doing not only a boy with a broken heart, but also a little girl. And then remember we had talked and you had mentioned something about, well, you know, we've all learned to survive. Regardless of how difficult, we've been able to survive these things. And then, you know, John, when I wasn't even expecting it, because I was talking about something else, immediately the little picture came to me of a little boy holding this little life jacket. I mean, it was just painted right there. And remember, I could hardly wait to get back. And then it was that night that just by what you said, just a thought, the whole picture was painted. I was so inspired by the Sistine Chapel when I was a very young boy by looking at photographs. I remember looking for hours at the walls of the Sistine Chapel, and I was just so thrilled by it. And then, of course, the time came when I was able to actually go there to Italy and see the Sistine Chapel. And I can't recall of any experience that was more moving to me as far as seeing a piece of artwork, other than when I went one time to see a Van Gogh collection. But I can't recall anything that was more stirring and really spoke to my own heart as the walls of the Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo. And I suppose it has always been, since I've even learned of this as a young boy, that I've always sort of had it in my heart to do my own chapel to the glory of the Lord. It's very difficult for me to keep that a very, not a secret project, but I really don't want anyone to even see what's going on inside of the chapel, because when it's finished, I want to do it in my time. I don't want to be pushed. I want to do something that I can really feel I'm thoroughly enjoying, and when I'm finished, then I'll be very anxious, of course, to show it to the public.